Well, I was born in Looe, 1935, born at the Dawn, West Looe, which was the Looe nursing home, which is now the Clipper Hotel.
Where's that? Which is the Clipper?
Up the back Hannaford Lane.
Okay.
The Clipper Hotel, the big Clipper Hotel.
Yeah.
That was the nursing home in Looe all my life, and all the women that used to go out there, you know, the mothers to be. When I was 7, the war broke out in Looe, and that messed everything up because Looe, their main industry was pilchard fishing.
Yeah.
That was their main industry in Looe.
Yeah.
And the war messed all that lot up because the boats weren't allowed to go to sea with lights up, and they were all the big luggers were taken to Plymouth to fit out in case they were needed for Dunkirk. That was where all the luggers went at wartime. Anyhow, the men from the boats, they went to West Quarries to work, which is up Looe River. Looe River actually breaks in two above the bridge. You've got an East River and a West River. And East River is the best one of the two. It's deeper water and it runs up about 2 miles till it comes to fresh water. And then you've got old salmon and other sort of fish up that end. But the men went to West Quarries to work, and they were up there all the war period. When the war was over, they all had their boats brought back to Looe for them again, took out all the woodwork and stuff that they put in up at Plymouth, and the men started work. I was 7 years old at school when the war broke out, and when with the sardine factory, which is now being overhauled and all freshly done, that was the West Looe main air raid shelter. And we all used to, when the siren would go, we would all go down to the air raid shelter. Our parents take us down the air raid shelter, and you'd wait for the all clear to go, and then you would come out and go home again. And when you would come out the door, quite often it was a complete glen all out to the eastward. It was Plymouth all on fire. Plymouth was getting bombed and blitzed night after night. Yeah. And that is what you could see. All the sky was lit up with all like flames and what have you gone up. So Plymouth had a really bad time when the war was on. Yeah. My father and grandfather, they were fishermen. They're born and bred fishermen, they were. But father went out West Quarries now to do woodwork, which he could put his hand to fairly well, like in the wartime. Yeah. I wanted to go fishing, but I wasn't allowed to. They made me go to school, and then when I left school, I learned a trade as a carpenter and joiner. Got all my paperwork, qualified carpenter and joiner. And then I went to sea. I don't know really if it was for the better or for the worse, because I was seasick for the whole first 2 years I went out. Every single time I'd get aboard the boat, sometimes I'd be bad down the harbour, sometimes I'd be bad when I get out, but I could guarantee I would be bad. And all I used to have was cream crackers and bread and butter, and that was my main stuff I'd eat because it wasn't too bad, like, you know. Yeah. There was 3 sorts of fishing actually operated in Looe. There was the drift netting for pilchards, which the Spaniards called sardines. Pilchard drifting, and then you had long lining, which was a long length of line, 7 mile long. We used to work in the islands, 7 mile long, and it had 5,600 hooks on, and you would shoot that all in a big long, bait it up with sardines cut up, and shoot it in a big long 7 mile straight line, and leave it down for 2 hours, and then you'd haul it again, and you had any.
Sorry, can I just ask? So, when did you stop calling them pilchards and start calling them sardines? Because you were...
Well, all the time really. Once we started sending the pilchards away to South Africa, all the pilchards were canned out at Pauline, which is before you come to West Quarries up East River. Pauline, which is now Jewson's Timber Yard. That was the main canning factory for Cornish pilchards. They were all put in tins and tomato sauce, sealed up and shipped away.
Yeah.
All went to
So is that when they started calling them sardines, when they put them in the tin?
Yes,
and
they called them sardines when they put them in the tin.
Ah.
And that was what happened with the Cornish pilchards.
Yeah.
But also, where the sardine factory is, there was 2 small fish pits in there, concrete pits about 8 foot square, like, and there was opposite side of the river, which is the beach, which was the Beachcomber clothes shop over there. That one was the main big fish pit place, which had 6 fish pits. And when they were all full with salted down, they would put scaffold planks on the top, half underweights, and weight it down to compress it.
Yeah.
That within a month or 2, when they take the pilchards out, they would be hard as rock. And then we had a local cooper down living in the back streets called N. Davies Pengelly. His son had boots. Had Donald Pengelly's, the chemist shop, East Looe, and his father was the cooper. He would make the barrels. You could go in there any time, and he was always in there cutting up wood with iron rings, making all these little wood barrels, and then the women would put the pilchards in, tails in the middle, and all around in circles, like, and they would be packed up and sent away to South Africa as well.